a decade, Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban has been locked in a battle with the European Union. From almost declaring the country an autocracy to hijacking pandemic recovery funds, the EU has tried every trick in the book to undermine the conservative leader. But it seems that EU's brazen fight against European conservatives might soon hit a roadblock. That's because Orban and company are now all set to float a parallel right-wing European Union, and that's a death knell for Brussels and EU's dictator Ursula von der Leyen. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of TFI Media Group. I'm your host Manu. Let's begin. As the EU continues daydreaming about Viktor Orban's collapse in Hungarian politics, the Hungarian leader has already started to lay the foundation of a new conservative European Union. According to a report by Politico, Hungarian Prime Minister Orban is soon expected to launch and fund a conservative think tank which is destined to shake up Brussels' policy making. Reportedly, MCC Brussels, which is a branch of the Matthias Corvinus Collegium, a Budapest-based college, has received funds worth billions from Budapest authorities to provide an alternative for Europe's polarized cultural landscape, according to one of its founders. The think tank is going to work like a shadow think tank against the EU's existing left-leaning think tanks that are currently peddling pro-EU thoughts. The Hungarian-Canadian academician and director of the new think tank, Frank Furedi, has stressed that Budapest wants to promote mature, thoughtful discussion about the cultural tensions that prevail on the continent. Furthermore, he argued that since Orban's re-election in April, anti-Hungarian sentiments have been on the rise in Brussels. The members of the think tank insist that Hungary is hated by the West because of a simple reason, that it dares to question their post-traditionalist identity politics fueled worldview. Beyond any questions, the Hungarian ruling party Fidesz has invested a lot in creating an alt-right intellectual universe around their policies. For example, Hungary also hosted a special session of the United States Conservative Political Action Conference earlier this year, which was attended by a range of Trumpian American celebrities. For the last 70 years and predominantly after World War II, the West has maintained its allegiance to liberal values, or what we like to call the liberal sisterhood, in which most Western nations have simply followed whatever the US commanded. However, since Orban began to spar with the West leaders over a number of issues in 2010, Hungary has become a major source of trouble for these liberal cabal. Till now, Orban was on the back foot due to overwhelming pressure and no political backing in the West. Not anymore. The Ukraine war has changed the equation drastically. The left is clearly on the decline and more right-wing leaders are storming to power. Last month, Italy elected conservative Giorgia Meloni to be its next prime minister, and it took the West by complete surprise. Furthermore, right-wing nationalists like French leader Marine Le Pen, Swedish politician Jimmy Åkesson, and Spanish Vox Party are enjoying growing support due to the West's reckless action in the Ukraine war. As G. Michael Hoff, the American best-selling author, puts it, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. This is exactly the case with the West. Power politics that the US and EU have exercised over the past 7 decades have detached them from the ground reality. This has weakened their hold over global issues and forced them into making suicidal moves. For instance, blinded by illusion of long outdated US dominance in the world, EU chose to follow the command of the Biden administration, and it is now paying through its nose. But EU's conservatives have decided that enough is enough. Hungary might soon bid adieu to the European Union, and the initial signs are already here. A conservative think tank is undoubtedly a slap in the face of Brussels. Hungary will no longer submit to EU's diktats. Orban has outgunned EU's dictator Ursula yet again.